guess this is 34 now.
What?
What is up, guys? Welcome to episode number 34 of the Good Point Bro podcast. My name's Caden. This is my little bro, Cam.
Don't sleep.
There we go. Your catchphrase.
Yeah. I mean, I can
Adam
say
just said that to me the other day.
Don't sleep.
Yeah, from you.
Type.
Me and Adam have a few sayings.
Starting of a movement.
The don't sleep movement.
Yeah.
I don't know. We got a lot to get into today, guys. Do you want to start in the NBA? I guess.
Yeah, we
You're
can.
a big NBA guy.
Yeah, we can start. In the NBA.
So in the NBA, we've said this before and we'll say it again. When the Lakers are good, they're the biggest draw in the NBA. And they've been good. When AD and LeBron on the floor, they have to carry, but they have been.
But that's what they did in 2020 as well.
I feel like it's
Don't
not this
forget
bad.
that.
They both had to drop 35 for them to even be close in a game against the Pistons with no Cade Cunningham.
In 2020 or in 2019, Braun averaged 25 and 10, was probably going to win the MVP if the season didn't get cut short. Because if you remember, Giannis was in the lead, but LeBron was right behind him, and AD was averaging 26 and 12.
Yeah.
So I mean, they have to put up those numbers if they want to be a good team.
Yeah.
But that team also had a lot better shooting.
Yeah, there was. I guess the guy that could step up for this team would be Lonnie, and then they have Russ as like 6th man of the year. He's running away with 6th man of the year.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. I think he's the Vegas favorite, but he's ESPN's favorite to win as well.
That's ridiculous. I think I don't.
Yeah, and then they got Lonnie Walker, and then Dennis Schroeder might have a night here or there, but he's not what he was even on that 2020 team.
He wasn't on the 2020 team.
Oh, what 2021?
Yeah, but he sucked then too.
He had
That was supposed to be a good pickup, and he didn't turn out. Neither did.
No, he had a good playoffs or something. He did something.
He wasn't good
because he wanted like 80 mil after that year. I don't think you remember. Dennis Schroeder was balling.
He was okay
on wherever he was. I'm pretty sure.
No, he was balling on OKC, and he was balling on the Hawks. He wasn't balling for the Lakers in 2021. That's why they let him go.
No, they let him go because he wanted 80 mil.
Bro, he wasn't.
And I think they offered him like 60.
He wasn't that good that year.
I think they offered him
look
60.
Up the numbers.
I am.
No, that and who else did they have that didn't turn out? That center that was for the Clippers. I forget what his name is.
DeAndre Jordan?
No, the guy who won 6. Terrell Harrell or something.
Montrezl
Harrell. Yeah, he didn't turn out either, and he was really good for that Clippers team. 2020. I think he was a 6th man of the year guy.
He played 2020, 2021. He averaged 15.4, 6 assists, 3.5 rebounds.
For the Lakers?
Yes.
All right.
And then the year before, he averaged 19.
For the Thunder, he did, yeah.
So he wanted big money. So he went to Boston for like a big 1-year deal, and then it didn't end up going his way. Basically, they were like because the Lakers ended up offering him a good deal, like 60 or 65.
I think it was like a 2-year, like something,
but
like $40 million or something. Which is, don't give Dennis Schroeder that. He's not worth it.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, so if you guys didn't watch the game, they played the Pistons last night on Sunday. I think they were up 2 with 35 seconds left. So I think they ended up winning by 7. But it was a really close game. The Pistons without Cade Cunningham. LeBron was actually pretty decent in the fourth, which is a good thing. Compared to the Sixers game, where LeBron I think had 3 turnovers in the last couple minutes of the fourth quarter to send it to overtime, and then they got killed in overtime.
He also had 0 points in the fourth too.
Yeah,
and in overtime.
Yeah, but the overtime was just bad.
Yeah, but the Pistons game, they were up the whole game. They just let them come back in the fourth. They just can't do that. They just let these teams creep back in when they were dominating them the whole game. I don't know. It sucks. It's just that LeBron's just not in his prime anymore.
What are the Lakers' playoff chances, though?
I think they can make the playoffs. If they stay healthy for the rest of the year, I think they could be like the 6th seed.
It's hard not to say you don't like their matchup with a lot of teams, though.
Yeah, I think they could like be a 6th seed and like go 6 games with somebody, maybe go 6 or 7 games. I mean, when you got LeBron and AD in the playoffs,
you
never know.
If you're like the Lakers and Russ is coming with the second unit, and you're playing the Suns in the first round, and it's AD and DeAndre Ayton in the middle. I like the Lakers.
I don't like the Suns anymore. I think that CP3 is just not. He was not even in his prime with the Suns, but now he's even lower level.
He revived his career with the Suns, and it's back.
Well, I don't think he revived his career. He was at the Rockets. He was doing well.
No.
Or he no. He didn't revive his career with the Suns. He was doing really well for OKC. He beat the Rockets in the first round series in the bubble.
Everyone thought he was about to retire because he was on such a downward hill, a downward spike, and then he signed with the Suns, and it was going to be like a player coach. I don't think you remember when he signed with the Suns.
I just know he balled out for the OKC.
Maybe
they thought when he was going to OKC, his career was done. Because you're traded to OKC and they suck. He did so well that year. He made him into a 5th seed. That OKC team that everybody thought was not going to make the playoffs. And
I just remember how it felt around the league when he signed. And it was more of like a player coach, downward swing guy. That's going to be a good vet for a team that maybe needs some guidance through a playoff run.
Yeah, no, it was a signing like, hey, this team might be a force in the West now that they just added Chris Paul, especially how he played after coming out of OKC.
He's averaging 9, 4, and 8.
Yeah,
that's rough.
The West for me is wide open. Like I could definitely see the Warriors still winning the West too, just because it feels like everybody's on that same level.
Mm-hmm.
And even though the Pelicans are really good, they're really young, so they're not going to have a lot of experience in the playoffs. Which, facing a team like the Warriors in a 7-game series, I'm probably picking the Warriors over the Pelicans.
Which, speaking of the Warriors, they got one over the Celtics. Jason Tatum has 18 points in the game. I think he was 9 for 21. So they fall. So I think Steph and Clay combined for almost 70.
Yeah, Clay had
35
right? And Steph had 33, so almost 70. But I mean, and the Warriors were at home. I think they're 11-2 at home and like 1-12 on the road.
Yeah.
So I mean I'm sure the Warriors will be fine. They'll figure it out. They have so many veterans, and
that's wild to be that bad, that good at home and that bad on the road.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that they'll figure it out. They'll be fine. But I don't think
they're a championship team.
No, I don't think they're a championship team. I think whoever wins the East is going to win the championship this year.
Yeah,
I don't think the West is going to win.
I wasn't surprised by the Warriors up. I was surprised by the Celtics collapse.
Yeah, I mean,
like they got demolished. They lost by like 20.
I mean, they've been really good though. I don't think it's a big deal that they lost bad to the Warriors. I really don't. On the road, pretty sure it was a back-to-back because they just played the Suns and whooped them.
Mm-hmm.
So, second night of a back-to-back on the road. The Warriors are really, really good at home. It's not a big deal to me. They're still the best team in the NBA by far, in my opinion.
So I don't know. And then back to the Suns. Suns and Pelicans have developed this rivalry now. The Pelicans take over the number 1 seed in the West. And in doing so, they play back-to-back games in which the Pelicans win both. In the first game, to end it, like 1.8 seconds, when generally a team would just dribble it out, toss hands, whatever, shake on it, cheer a little bit, walk off. Instead of doing all this, Zion, they throw it down court to Zion, who catches it in 360 windmills with 1.8 remaining.
No, that was awesome because he was like saying that this team eliminated them from the playoffs last year, and that was for the city of New Orleans.
Yeah.
And just saying all that because I think Mikal Bridges for the Suns did that to them last year. He did like a late dunk. Same thing kind of Zion did. So they got back at him. I think the Suns are a bunch of punks, though, for real. They beef with everybody. Like they were beefing hard with the Mavericks last year and Luka and lost by 40.
They play a little dirty too.
Sevens. No, yeah, they're kind of a punk team. So I like the Pelicans bringing it to them. I hope every team does that to the Suns.
What I loved more than anything though about that Zion dunk is that Zion dunk at the end of the game versus the Suns was better and more entertaining than any in the dunk contest.
Yeah,
in the last,
360
3
windmill
years.
in a game is pretty solid. Zion looks like he's back to what he was athletically.
Yeah.
Because remember, people were questioning.
He's the villain.
He looked when he came into the NBA not as athletic as he was at Duke because he put on all that weight.
Yeah.
And now he looks like he's back to that. So Zion's just such a unicorn type player.
His voice has gotten a lot deeper. Have you noticed
Zion
that?
did?
Yeah.
That's funny. But he's like Charles Barkley, but just add like 50% athleticism. To me, that's
Oh,
what he
yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah. He's way more athletic
Oh
than
yeah,
Charles.
way more. And he's as big as him.
Yeah.
And
He's
probably
as
like
athletic as like a young Shaq.
Charles probably had a little bit more touch.
Young Shaq was.
Yeah, Shaq was huge. Shaq.
Well, I'm
Shaq
saying
is-
young Shaq was really athletic.
Yeah, and like just jacked.
Zion, he might have close athleticism to like a Giannis.
No, he's more athletic than Giannis, I think.
You think?
Yeah. Zion, I think, is the most athletic player in the NBA.
I think.
Dude,
Man.
to be that big and thick and be able to have
Giannis is a
40
big dude
Yeah,
too, bro.
but Giannis has, or not Giannis, Zion has like a 40 plus inch vert.
I'm not saying he's not
doesn't have a
athletic, but
40 inch
Giannis
vert,
is.
bro. Giannis doesn't have a 40
Who's
inch
more?
vert.
Who's more dominant though?
Okay, what do we mean as dominant? Giannis is
Can-
more dominant.
Giannis is
bet-
more physically dominant.
But, yeah, no, not more physically dominant.
I think he is.
I don't think he's more physically dominant. Zion overpowers you, dude, like Shaq did.
You don't think Giannis does?
No, I do. I just think Giannis has a little bit more touch and it plays more like a wing guy, and Zion just bodies you every single play. I think Zion
hit
is
two
more
threes.
physically
He had
dominant.
2 threes.
No, yeah, he has like a set shot.
He had 2 of them.
Yeah, it's like a free throw.
Yeah,
You watch
it's
it.
like,
It's almost like Shaq's was really.
but he
But-
makes them.
Yeah,
Shaq
sometimes.
Well, yeah, I think I don't know if he shot a third.
I
might
mean,
have
he
just been 2
shot
for 2, I don't know.
threes at Duke. He shoots jump shots sometimes. He's not just like super
Yeah.
one dimensional.
But like Giannis probably has a better midi,
Yeah,
but Giannis doesn't really.
Giannis
shoot threes either.
Giannis shoots fadeaway sometimes now and stuff.
That's good.
Yeah.
Like he's like a Miami LeBron now.
Yeah, but they're still different because
Miami
LeBron
LeBron made more threes for sure. But
Oh
LeBron-
yeah. He shot 40% from 3 in 2012-13 season.
yeah,
The
that's
season
really
that
good.
people say is his best season, which I don't think so. I think it's 2018. was his
But the
best.
playoff.
No, like the whole season.
Oh,
was
really?
Amazing. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Average like 28, 56% shooting, 38% from 3.
They need that from AD.
If they had that LeBron on this team, shoot, I would think they're going to be the 1 seed. That's how good.
But they need that from AD though.
Yeah, I think the gap between that and this LeBron's big time. This is the worst LeBron we've probably seen since his first 2 years in the league, probably.
And that's remarkable to say because he's averaging like 27.
Yeah, but he's
26.
just not efficient. Or he's not that he's not efficient. He's efficient towards like NBA
His
standards.
his
not his standard.
his 3-point percentage or his 3-point shot is so streaky.
yeah,
it's
it's too
bad.
streaky.
Like he'll go for like 1 for 9,
Yeah.
and then he'll go like 6 for 6,
Yeah.
like on 1 for 9 again.
He also is shooting like 47% from the field or something, which he's usually upwards of 50. So it's the efficiency in the athletic abilities that's down
Yeah.
a little bit.
Overrated, underrated, or yep. So I'm basically I'm gonna list off these names, whether they're team or player names. Cameron's gonna hit us with one word: overrated, underrated, or yep. No explanation. The only explanation is gonna be you guys in the comments whether you agree or disagree. All right. So we'll start with this: overrated, underrated, or yep. Ben Simmons,
Overrated,
Tyrese Maxey,
underrated.
Steph Curry,
Yep.
Cleveland Cavaliers,
Overrated,
Jason Tatum,
overrated,
Phoenix Suns.
overrated.
A lot of overrated in Cam's opinion.
Dude, Jason
Cleveland
This is-
Cavs?
Yeah, they're overrated.
Come
they're not
on,
gonna.
bro.
Wait, what are they rated as? Like people think they can get out of the East?
No. No one thinks they can get out of the East.
Okay, then yeah, they're like a good team. But this is why I
But
say.
I think there's people that
this is
think
why I
that
say Jason.
there's people that think that they could surprise people and make a run for the ECF.
Yeah, maybe. Do you think they're gonna beat the Celtics or Bucks in the series? Is no shot, and they're gonna be the top 2 seeds.
Let's see.
It's not gonna happen.
I think they could get surprised and play the Nets in the first round and lose.
yes, The Nets are dangerous. The Nets are the dark horse of the East, in my opinion, not the Cavs.
I think the Nets lost last night.
But
I don't think
well, though.
But I don't think KD or Kyrie played.
Oh. It's ridiculous, dude. Kyrie, you're not playing? Why are you not playing? You played like 15 games this year.
It might have been Saturday.
Oh. But
they beat the Pacers by 3.
The reason why I say Jason Tatum's overrated is because he reminds me a lot of Kawhi, and he's going to be more of a system player. And he's like a good two-way. Yeah, he's a great two-way player. He can score and defend, but he doesn't affect the game like Luka Doncic does, where he is able to make teammates better. Jason Tatum is part of a good system and a good team like Kawhi could do. You know what I mean? But Kawhi's not elevating anyone. If you're not elevating your team, that's why KD is not ever going to be the best player in the world. He never was. Giannis makes people better. KD never made people better. LeBron made people better. Luka makes people better. Jason Tatum doesn't make people better.
Steph makes people better.
Steph makes people better. Jason Tatum is just a guy you can plug in. A great player, is a great two-way player, but doesn't make teammates better. He just has a great team around him. So I don't want to hear about the record. I don't care about that. Yeah, MVP.
I will say this.
MVP is about who's the best player on the best team. Sure, I'll give you that. Maybe he's the MVP, but he's not better than Luka Doncic.
Yeah, I don't think he's better than Luka. But I will say this about him this year, in ways that he's matured and improved, is when his shot is off, he, in the third and fourth, you'll see him taking a lot less and passing a lot more, like trying to set teammates up a lot more.
Yeah.
So
that doesn't mean he can't get there.
No, yeah, just in the moment. And I honestly, I don't know if Luka makes people a lot better either, to be fair.
Bro, he took that team to the Western Conference. He beat the number one seeded 64-win Suns.
I didn't say he can't carry. Who's better on that team and has better stats and better numbers?
Bro, he gave Jalen Brunson a $110 million contract for the Knicks.
How's he doing?
He's not. I have no clue. I think he's doing
okay. Let's see how he's doing then.
But he's making people better. You can't do it by yourself. You got to elevate your teammates. And he has that.
Jalen Brunson's averaging 26 and 3. That's basically what he was on the Mavericks. There's no way.
I know, but he got him that contract though, and he's gonna. Dude, they gave him $110 million. He's gonna have way more opportunities for the Knicks than he did before with the Mavs.
I'm just saying, like I don't. He averaged 16 with the Mavs, and he averages 20 now. How do you think
Luka doesn't make people better though?
Because I think Luka's maybe more like a James Harden on the Rockets.
You don't think James Harden made people better?
No.
I don't agree with that.
Who's better? Like, who got better? Like, okay, for instance, Matthew Dellavedova. That's
Russell
getting
Westbrook
better.
Got better with James.
No, his best seasons were by himself.
I know, but
I'm saying, like, Matthew Dellavedova for a season was escalated, and then as soon as he left, he was back to his normal self. That's getting better. It's not, I made him better, and now he's just a better player without me, too. That's not what making him better is. Making him better is he's performing better than he ever could without you.
Yeah, I think Luka.
So Klay Thompson is not a top 5 3-point shooter without Steph Curry. And that's a hot take, but I believe it.
I believe it, too, because think about how many open shots and well, he's not a top 5 shooter if he's not with KD and all those guys. He had open shots.
No. The year before KD got there, he made like 353.
Oh, yeah, he was nasty. I'm saying, like, the teams with KD and without were both great teams. So, yeah, he's a product. He's still a great player, but he was even elevated more because of the team he was on with Draymond and everyone. I mean, think about...
You could even look at Kyrie.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
It's not as drastic, but...
He was winning.
He was a top 5 player in the world.
It comes down to this.
2018.
It's not all about numbers,
not
dude.
2018.
It's not all about numbers. They were winning with him. Brunson was winning with Luka.
That's not what it means, though.
But that's part of the equation. It's not just your stats.
I'm not saying it's just your stats. I'm saying
your
overall play is elevated past what you can do with any other player. When you go and play with LeBron, when you go and play with Steph, when you go and play with Giannis, Chris Middleton becomes an all-star. He becomes a number 2 guy because his number 1 guy is that good. It makes him that much better. If Chris Middleton then goes to the Knicks and he's the number 1 guy, his play is not elevated. He is the standard, and it's not as good as it is on the Bucks.
I think James Harden did make people better.
When Russ leaves, or is on his own without James Harden.
He didn't do as good after he left.
No, he averaged a triple-double.
Oh, come on. Don't give me with the Wizards. That's terrible. That year was not that good. He was probably shot like 41%.
And it was probably still better.
The second half of the year before the COVID shutdown, Russell Westbrook was starting to get MVP recognition. That's how good he was playing the second half. He was averaging like 30 on over 50% shooting with James Harden.
Okay, maybe Russ is making James Harden better then. You can't. No, that's like a weird way to do it. You can't take already established all-stars who is the best triple-doubles in the history of basketball.
So how can you talk? Stop with the triple-doubles. I don't care about the triple-doubles.
That's the only thing I've ever said about triple-doubles. No, what do you mean stop with them?
I'm talking about with Russ.
I'm saying you take an average to low average player and you make them above average. That's making players better. That's what that is.
And
like AD is a similar player to the Pelicans AD. His roles have changed, and he's gotten better at certain things. That's not a product necessarily of LeBron.
But he won. His best version of himself was in the bubble with LeBron.
Probably not.
I think so. His at least best shooting, and he.
But even if so, that's not. When you get
your numbers are going to be less when you're with another star.
You get to a certain top 10. I'm not even talking about numbers. When you get to a certain elevation and you're a top 5 player. You're a top 5 player. When you take Matthew Dellavedova and make him a household name, that's elevating somebody. It's not Russ.
And Luka did the same thing with that team that took him to the Western Conference Finals.
No, who was on that team?
James Harden. James Harden is not. Luka is different than James Harden.
You brought up James Harden.
No, you did.
You said who was another player that I don't think elevated people.
No. You said I did not bring up James Harden.
Okay, maybe I brought him up, but my only point about that is he's a guy that runs the floor, has the ball in his hand, shoots a lot, scores a lot. LeBron didn't average 37. It's not the same as LeBron.
37.
LeBron brings
37.
James Harden averaged
like
36 and a half.
Similar. Okay, then James Harden's by himself. He's not Luka.
I think they have similar plays. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm saying the difference with LeBron is Luka comes up and he's like, I'm going to score. Oh, that didn't work? All right, here's how I'm going to make you score. James Harden comes up. I'm going to score. Oh, here's how I make you score. LeBron, here's how you can score. Oh, I got a free look. LeBron scores. That's the difference in their styles of play. So, even Giannis is going to bring it up, and he's going to probably do a little bit of both. But James Harden and Luka are going to take 4 shots in a row. They're going to take 5 shots in a row. You'll never see LeBron bring it up and just shoot it 7 times over in a regular season game.
No, Luka doesn't do that either.
Yes, he does.
Luka is more like LeBron.
His team probably goes on 3 or 4 series in a row without touching the ball. That is a fact, especially late in games. LeBron passed to Austin Reeves last night with the Pistons, and Austin Reeves hit a go-ahead 3.
I know. Luka did the same thing against the Nets when he passed it to Tim Hardaway, who hit a buzzer beater. No, it wasn't Tim Hardaway. Spencer Dinwiddie.
I'm not saying there's not exceptions, but that's not Luka.
Because Luka's also a killer, though.
So LeBron's not a killer then. It's confirmed.
No, it's a different type of.
Let's move over to the NFL. That was fun though. That's fine. Agree to disagree.
What? No, it's fine.
Agree to disagree. All right, the Cowboys struggle with the Houston Texans. Yeah, man. I mean, so what I'm getting out of this game, and I don't hate to say it, I don't love to say it, but it just proves to me how non-elite or inelite or whatever the word is Dak Prescott is. He's just not there, man. And I don't know if he will be. To me, he reminds me more of a guy.
Tony Romo.
Yeah, maybe Tony Romo. I don't know, but I was thinking more of like a Jimmy G. I think he's better than that. I don't think he is. And the reason I say that is his numbers throwing the ball 20+ are not good. They're just not. He makes short throws. If you look at his best statistical game, somebody else went off first. Pollard went off first. Zeke went off first. CeeDee Lamb's having a great game. He feeds off the energy of some other player going off. He isn't the guy that elevates everybody else. It's not like, oh, Zach is making great throws and CeeDee Lamb had a great game. It's CeeDee Lamb saved Zach 4 times and Zach ended up with the most yards of his career. Like, that's how it goes.
You're saying Zach?
When CeeDee.
No, I thought you said Lamb. Zach, not Dak.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. So, for instance, I don't think Zach. I did say that time. So maybe I have been the whole time.
Yeah, you have been the whole time.
I do not think that Dak can win you games. I think other players on their team can. The Cowboys have a lot of guys. Those guys can win you games. Dak himself cannot and probably will not win you games. When you need a QB the most, you throw a lot. When he throws 35 plus times, the Cowboys in general are 16-24. If he has to throw 35 or more times, they're 16-24. For instance, not to compare him to him, but Patrick Mahomes, when he throws 35 or more times, is 43-15.
Is every game.
Is 43-15. There are certain guys, when the lights are on and you need 35 plus throws, you trust them to make those throws. Those guys are Justin Herbert, who just completed 38 passes on Sunday Night Football. Completed 38. Didn't pass 38. Completed 38. Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and Patrick Mahomes, and that's it. There's nobody else on that list. Those are the top tier guys. I hate to say Tua's not there. He's not there.
No,
he's just not there.
But
I don't think Dak is that guy. They struggle against the Texans. And then my last thing I'm going to say about this is you can be like, oh, he took him 98 yards down the field and whatever you want to say. When the defense is in prevent, completions are easier to come by. Completions are easier to come by. When you need 98 yards and you're down and the defense is in prevent rushing 3, I mean, you're going to get a couple passes in a row. And like, how do I know that's true? We just watched Baker Mayfield do it. We just watched Tom Brady do it the week before. It's just how these games go. The real test for Dak Prescott was 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The defense was playing a regular defense. They were down. They needed a touchdown, and he threw an interception. That's the real Dak. He threw a big.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I watched that Packers game earlier in the year, and when Dak threw, I mean, Dak's just so inconsistent, bro. He's not that guy. He's not going to win you. I don't trust him in the playoffs, and I think it's ridiculous that ESPN has them favored to win the NFC. I think that's insane.
The whole thing. They're favored to win the Super Bowl.
It's ridiculous. Just because it's the Cowboys. Got to be. But this is what I feel like. Is Dak that much better than Brock Purdy? For real. And the 49ers have a better team collectively around Brock Purdy than Dak does. And I don't know if Dak outplays Brock Purdy in a playoff game. I don't think Dak can be the difference maker. No. And I think Jalen's, of course, better than Dak. So I don't know. I don't see them beating the 49ers or Eagles in the playoffs. I just don't see it.
Not only, I think Brock Purdy is Jimmy G took them to a Super Bowl, and I think Brock Purdy is a more mobile Jimmy G.
Yeah, he's
the
faster.
Throws he was making
athletic.
Last night were throws comparable, if not better than Jimmy G, but comparable. We'll give him comparable.
And he can run.
And he's mobile.
Yeah. He's going to be better for them than Jimmy G, I promise.
And this might have saved the 49ers.
Because Trey Lance might have not been good?
Because what do you do with Jimmy G after this year if he takes you to a Super Bowl? Or takes you deep into the NFC?
You
re-sign him.
No. They're not re-signing.
No, but
he already took him to the Super Bowl,
and
they said get gone, and then they finally gave him a one-year deal.
But I think with the way that things were moving and chugging along, and the way that they were beating good teams like the Dolphins, that if they were to go to a Super Bowl with Jimmy G the whole time, it's very hard for me not to re-sign him.
And lose again, you think they keep him? I don't think so.
It depends on his play. If he continues the play that he was having, I think so. But I think Brock Purdy saved them from that by stepping in and doing it, if not better, but the same way. I think they saved him from that contract, which is a funny thing.
If you're Trey Lance, that's like a punch in the gut.
I think the biggest punch in the gut to me is the Packers organization, watching Mike McCarthy being like 10-3.
Oh, whatever. I
mean,
it's
just funny.
They're not gonna win that. It's probably
like he was the problem. But he was the problem.
But they're gonna see them go to the playoffs and lose again, and they're gonna be laughing.
And they're gonna be like, I wish we were in the playoffs because we're 4 wins.
Going to the playoffs just to lose another NFC Championship game. I'd rather just miss the playoffs.
I'd rather have more than 4 wins.
I'm just saying. I rather suck than be almost great.
That was perfect. We ran. The next subject was Brock Purdy. So perfect.
Oh really?
Yeah. I'm going to talk about the Chargers game a little bit. I'm not going to harp on it too much.
Yeah, I want to hear this because your boy.
Just hold on. Here's my thing. The whole narrative surrounding this game was who is better, Justin Herbert or Tua? Did the Dolphins make the right choice by drafting Tua at 5 and letting Herbert fall to 6? That was the whole narrative surrounding the game, right? As of right now, Justin Herbert is a better QB. He made some amazing throws. He threw into tight windows.
He might be one of the best.
He threw into people covered. I put him. He's
top 3. He's top 3. And
I don't know.
He can do things that other quarterbacks just can't do. Besides,
I'll name 3 that I'd put above him, for this season.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts, and Joe Burrow.
I don't put him up. I go Pat Mahomes for this year.
Just this year.
I go Pat Mahomes. Who would I rather have? I'm going Pat Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and then Justin Herbert.
Yeah, I think.
And I'd rather have Justin Herbert than Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts is good or great, but he has the best team around him. I don't think Jalen.
You don't think Joe Burrow
is because of
the team around him is.
No, it's good, but it's not the.
He has two amazing running backs, great receivers. His line's a little down, but his defense
scratch
is great.
that. This is who I would put. I would say 1 is Pat, 2 is Justin Herbert. The rest you can do whatever with, but I think Justin Herbert is better than Josh Allen.
I don't know. I think to me that might be a little bit of recency. He played amazing, and he makes amazing throws.
They've been on Sunday Night Football or whatever. They've been on a lot of primetime, and I've watched them, and he just does things that no other quarterback can do, and at his size, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, his size makes.
I don't know. Yeah, you might be right. It's just like watching him. He just looks
like his whole body of work for the season is unimpressive.
Yeah, the numbers, but that's a lot because of injuries too.
No, he's dealt with it. His team. The Chargers suck.
But
his team sucks. But
I would put Josh Allen top 3 too. Those would be my top 3. Herbert, which was kind of what the preseason consensus was Pat, Josh, and Herbert.
Jalen has 3 interceptions for the year.
No, Jalen's played great.
He has 10 rushing touchdowns.
I just
he's
think
playing immaculate.
I'd rather have Herbert if I was starting a team.
For this season, also.
Okay, for this season, Hurts is above him. For this season. I'm just saying who I think is better.
Here's what I was going to go into before all that deterred me. So that was the narrative going into this game. Here's my problem with just the media in general, with just TikTok, with just Colin or whoever you want. Before the year, they're saying Tua's a bust. They should have drafted Justin Herbert. Get Tua out of Miami. They need to get Tom Brady. They need to sign Deshaun Watson. They need to do all this stuff. Then he goes on a little win streak. He has the best QBR in the NFL. And they go, whoa. He's the MVP of the NFL. Nobody says we were wrong, but they say he was the MVP of the NFL. He's going to win MVP. This is amazing. And they get super, super high on him. He has 2 bad games on the road across the country at the West Coast. And then they want to be like, yep, Justin Herbert was better all along. And he's just a much better QB. Tua's trash again. Like, okay, bro. Like, I'm not saying he's better than Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert can be better. But why are we going so low on him before the year starts, getting so high saying he's the MVP, and then going right back down after only 2 games? It's been 2 games. One of them he threw for almost 300 yards and had 2 touchdowns. Like, I know it was a bad game. Like, it's the best defense in the NFL. He threw for
Look what Tom Brady just looked like against him.
That's a good point. Look what Tom Brady just looked like, which, I mean, that dude, he missed like a couple wide open touchdowns. Terrible pick. Anyway, just forget about that.
He had a rough game.
Stop getting so high on these players and then immediately crash it. Like, just let him play the season out.
I know.
We'll see next week. He plays the Bills on the road and the Patriots on the road in his last 4. And the Packers on the road. Not that the Packers are good, but he plays them on the road. That's an upset alert. Then the last game of the season is the Jets. He's got 4 games to show you. This is the thing about the season, right? This is when you see which teams are good. When everyone is riddled with injuries, everyone's looking down. This is when you see which teams are good. And guess what? The teams you thought were going to be good are good. The Bills are good. Oh,
Chiefs
they
good.
lost a little bit in a row. Who cares? They're still good. The Chiefs are good. The Eagles, I don't know if anybody thought they'd be 15-2, but they're looking like they might have.
Cowboys are good. I don't think
Cowboys are
the
good.
Cowboys would be.
The 49ers are good.
Yeah, super good, dude.
Like, these are the teams, and it's funny because the NFL has a way of doing that in which college football doesn't. But the teams that you think are good, they play enough games to where those teams end up being the teams. Yeah. And in college, it's not.
It's just a larger sample size.
Yeah. But anyway.
And not every game is like.
I just wanted to get that off my chest about Tua. Just stop. Just stop. I don't even want to talk about Brady. We'll skip that. Yeah. I don't know. Anytime you have to change the channel on Brady. Like, they literally switched to a Panthers game.
Yeah, it was so bad.
Because Tom Brady was getting murked so bad. So I'm not even going to talk about that.
I cannot believe that was a 3.5 spread. Remember I was saying up here?
Well, it's because they didn't know.
That's the worst spread I've ever seen.
They didn't know about old boy.
I don't care if
Purdy.
I was playing quarterback for the 49ers. You got that defense against a dude who has a banged-up offense line and can't move. Mm-hmm. How did they think that one was going to go? That spread was insane, dude.
So, as a lot of our viewers know, I'm a Bears fan. Cam, I don't know if Cam's a Bears fan. I'm a
not.
Bears fan.
Wherever Bryce Young goes, I'll be a fan of.
So, Mitch Trubisky, Kenny Pickett goes down with his second concussion of the season. Mitch Trubisky comes in, gets into the red zone, and throws 3 picks in the red zone.
He threw 3 picks in the red zone?
In the red zone. All 3.
Holy.
So, I don't know.
And the
I don't know
Bears
if I want to see this guy do good, bad.
The
I
Bears
don't
drafted
know.
him second?
The Bears trade up 1 pick from 3 to 2 to get Mitch Trubisky in a draft with Patrick Mahomes.
And Deshaun Watson.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just say
Also,
Deshaun
it was
Watson.
another guy, too. That draft was
Well, the number
really
1
good
overall, I think,
quarterback.
was a QB. He wasn't the top QB drafted.
Mitch wasn't? I'm pretty sure it was.
What was that, 2016?
2017 draft. I know Deshaun was in it. Mahomes was in it.
Deshaun was like 8th, I think.
No, he was in the team.
Pat was 8th. Pat was 8th. Myles Garrett. So, yeah, we drafted him.
That draft is stacked.
So we
Who's
trade
all the
up.
quarterbacks in the first round?
Okay. The Chicago Bears trade up to get Mitch Trubisky in a draft with Myles Garrett, Leonard Fournette, Jamal Adams, Mike Williams, Christian McCaffrey, Patrick Mahomes, Marshawn Lattimore,
Holy.
Deshaun Watson. I mean, need I go on? Jonathan Allen, O.J. Howard, Gerard Davis, Evan Ingram, Jabril Peppers. I mean, I don't even... T.J. Watt, Reuben Foster.
Reuben Foster's gone.
But he was a beast.
Yeah, he was a beast.
Not that any of these guys would go number 2.
Dude.
But those guys were in the draft, and you trade up to get Mitch Trubisky.
How many Bama players were in that first round?
See,
Reuben, Jonathan Allen.
I don't know, bro. I can't look at this anymore, bro. I got to talk about something else. The Bears suck balls. Big old balls. Cam's big old ball. All right. I'm going to get into Jalen Hurts a little bit. He's the favorite for the MVP.
That's ridiculous.
He has 108 passer rating along with 10 rushing touchdowns. I think he's dynamic. I think the voters like a dynamic QB. Pat Mahomes threw 3 touchdowns or 3 interceptions last week.
And 3 touchdowns.
He's kind of playing his way out of it a little. I mean, he has 11 picks
They're
on the
finding every excuse to not give it to him.
But
he's like
I
Michael
don't think
Jordan.
that's true, man. Jalen Hurts is going to have as many total touchdowns. He's going to have obviously more rushing yards and more rushing touchdowns. He's going to have less interceptions. He's having an MVP year. He's having an MVP year.
I know, but
and not only that, he's going to have the best record in the NFL.
I just think that they're finding it to not give it to Pat. But this is the thing. We know that the Eagles have the best team around them, right? They have a better roster top to bottom than the Chiefs do. And for Pat Mahomes to do this after losing Tyreek Hill means something, dude. I feel like Pat Mahomes to me is still the MVP.
All right, the Phillies are 12-1 right now. They got the Bears next week, 13-1. Cowboys on Christmas Eve. Circle it on your calendars. That's going to be a game.
And the Chiefs have a harder schedule.
Saints and then Giants. So we'll chalk all those up as a win. They finish 14-2. If they lose,
we
the Cowboys on
predicted
Christmas
both.
Eve.
We both predicted they went 14-2.
Yeah, but we said they
or
lose
no,
to the Packers.
15-2 because it's 17 games. But
yeah,
the Chiefs have a harder schedule than the Eagles too. They're in the AFC. That's so much deeper. The NFC has 3 good teams. Everybody else sucks.
So I thought that as well.
And have they even played
hold
the 49ers
on.
yet? They haven't even
I
played
thought the same
49ers.
thing as you. 3 weeks ago.
No, they okay.
3 weeks ago.
Okay,
And
who do you think's
now-
the best team in the NFL, the Eagles.
Let's just do it like this. Watch this. The top 5 records. We'll just do whatever. All right, we'll just do
3.
this. Buffalo, Kansas City, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Miami, Tennessee, Chargers, Jets. Those are all the teams above 500 in the AFC.
Okay.
In the NFC, Philadelphia, Vikings, Dallas, 49ers, Washington, Giants, Seattle, and then Tampa Bay starts the under 500.
Yeah, AFC craps on the NFC.
I don't think it's
far
that
down.
far of a difference.
I think it's a big difference. I do.
I mean, the Giants and Jets, I feel like cancel each other out.
I don't think so, dude. The Jets are better than the Giants.
The problem with the Giants is they started off 6-1, and they're 7-5-1.
So did the Giants. Also started.
I
off
just said the
6-1.
Giants.
You said the Jets. You accidentally said the Jets. That's why I was confused.
Oh, I think I accidentally said both in one word. I think I combined their names.
The Jets.
I think the Gents.
But
the
that'd
Giants started off 6-1.
That would be a cool team name. The Gents, like the Gentlemen's.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be kind of cool?
The good point, bro. Gents.
No, the Huntsville Gents.
Who lives in Huntsville? The place sucks. I'll tell you why the NFC looks bad. If you want to know the truth,
Because they have no depth.
neither does the AFC.
Yes, they do have depth.
I just said the same order of teams.
Yeah, those teams are better though. I'm taking the Chiefs.
Here's the bottom of the AFC: Houston, Denver, Indiana, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Vegas. Those teams suck. Jacksonville.
That's AFC?
Yes.
Hey, Jacksonville does not suck.
They've had a couple good games in a row, but it's mostly Trevor Lawrence carrying.
I know, he's raw.
Yeah, it's just him.
Okay,
Those
go
teams
to the
suck.
NFC teams.
The bottom of the barrel?
Yeah.
The Bears, the Rams, New Orleans, Arizona, Atlanta, Carolina.
Yeah, they're bad.
They're worse
That's
than
how
the AFC.
bad-
The bottom of the AFC is 1-11.
Carolina
They have two teams with 3 or less wins.
Carolina can be, because they're in the AFC. Carolina can be 5-8 in the NFC. That's trash. They're not a good team. Sam Darnold is
The
not-
reason that the NFC looks worse is because Tampa Bay, Carolina, Atlanta, and New Orleans are all in the same conference or division, and they're competing to make the playoff. And not only that, the Panthers have the best chance to make the postseason of any team in that conference, and the Panthers are currently 5-8.
Yeah. Do the Eagles play the 49ers yet?
The Eagles?
Yeah, do they even play the 49ers?
I don't think so.
That's freaking lucky. They don't even play the second.
Oh, they have to. They're in the NFC.
Yeah, I know.
They have to.
When do they play them? Bro, their schedule's been soft.
No, they don't play them.
They don't play them at all.
No.
That's ridiculous. That's why I'm putting that, dude. The Chiefs are 10-3 in the harder AFC, and Pat Mahomes lost his best receiver, maybe the best weapon in the NFL.
Here's why it's
They
not
might
harder.
get 2,000
Here's
receivers.
why. No, that's a terrible take, dude.
2,000
They don't have
receiving
to
yards.
play the whole AFC.
They play the Bills twice. Or no, they don't.
No, they don't.
They play the
here's,
Bills.
here's the team they play twice: the Chargers, Las Vegas, and Denver.
Yeah, I mean that's not.
Oh,
a good
okay.
division, but
And
the
then
Chargers
and then
are
here's
good.
hold on. And then here's the Eagles, the Cowboys,
Yeah.
Washington, Giants. All are over 500 by at least 2 games.
Washington's not good.
They're Tyler Heineke's a goat. He finds ways to win games, and I'd rather.
They're about the same
I
level
would
division,
rather
I
play
think.
the Broncos than the Washington 10 out of 10 times.
I don't know about that.
You'd beat the
Right.
Broncos 10 times. Plus, freaking what's his face? Russell Wilson's trash, and he's hurt anyway.
The Chargers are really good though.
The Chargers are sleeper. They're turning around.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting healthy over there.
Yeah, they're good. They're a really good team.
So speaking of all this, who is the best team in the AFC?
I'm going Chiefs.
I'm going Bengals, and I'll tell you why.
It's not
When
the
I look at the
Bengals, bro.
top 4 teams in the AFC, you got the Chiefs, you got the Bills, you got the Ravens, and you got the Bengals.
Definitely not the Ravens.
No, just record.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying it's definitely not the Ravens.
Those are the top 4 records in the AFC. For any of those teams to win, you'll need an outstanding QB performance. You'll need a QB performance unless you're the Bengals. The Bengals have the best running game out of those teams. Arguably, the best receiving core out of those teams. Actually, I'm not even going to say arguably. They have the best receiving core out of those teams. And as of lately, their defenses look solid as well. So between those 4 teams, I think the Bengals supporting cast can pick up a down QB. Whereas if Patrick Mahomes has a bad game, we just saw yesterday.
He had a bad game and still won on the road.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, but he still threw 3 touchdowns, and that's not a bad game for any of their QB.
That's a bad game for him. They don't.
I'm saying
they
they-
need Joe Burrow to play well too to win. Especially they can't win the
Joe
AFC
Burrow
without
can
Joe
throw-
Burrow playing
they-
well.
No, the Bengals can decide, all right, this is a matchup where we're going to need to run the ball. They can play the Chargers because guess what? The Chargers give up 5.4 yards per rush on defense. That is the
Chiefs
most.
can
Hold
run
on.
the ball, too.
The not like the Bengals. The Chargers give up 5.4 yards per rush on defense. That's the most in 40 years. If I line up against the Chargers, I'm not going to do what the Dolphins did and pass a bunch of times. I'm going to run the ball
The Chiefs are 2-0 against the Chargers.
against not as good Chargers. But I'm not saying you're not getting my point. If Pat Mahomes has a bad game, I don't trust his supporting cast to pick him up as much as I do the Bengals. The Bengals can win regardless. Now, obviously, all 4 are amazing QBs. The Ravens are obviously not in that conversation. But again, Josh Allen, they don't even have a running game. He is their running game and their passing game.
Yeah, he.
So if he
they
has a
rely on
bad
Josh
game,
Allen more, I think, than any
he's
other team.
probably the Ravens are probably the most reliant. But they won yesterday.
Yeah,
I can't remember who they played though.
I don't know.
But yeah. All right, we'll just end with that.
All right.
You still stick with the Chiefs?
Yeah.
Oh, Monday Night Football. I got the Patriots covering 1.5.
Yeah, Patriots covering.
Actually, I'm gonna go bold with this one. All right.
Okay.
Mac Jones is tired of running the ball. He wants to show what he can do. He can make good throws. He has high completions.
High
He puts
IQ.
ball into tight windows. I have Mac Jones going in the bright lights of Monday Night Football against the Cardinals as 1.5-point favorites. Not only do I have him covering, I want them to win by 3 touchdowns. I think he throws for 3 touchdowns. And I bet you he throws for 300 yards with a 70% completion percentage. That is my prediction. When it happens, I'll put on my Max Jones jersey. I'll post the clip. Call me Mystic Caden because I predict these things. All right, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Big game too.
It's been fun. Big one for Mac Jones. All right, guys, it's been a lot of fun. We'll see you in the next one. Okay, that's it for episode number 34.
Peace.
Later.